Unfortunately, this is the angle we're gonna have to be dealing with today. Come back to the channel if you've been here before. If not, then welcome in. Today, I don't really know what's on the agenda. Kinda losing it. I am a fangirl through and through. In the deepest parts of my soul, I have always been a fangirl since I was born. At this point in my life, I don't think I can escape it. All this to say, today's topic is gonna be discussing fandoms that I've been in. Discussing, not really. Giving my 2 cents and rating them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being an absolute cesspool, hellfire, toxic wasteland, and 10 being frolicking in the grassy fields, holding hands, singing kumbaya. I have yet to reach a 10, and I've steered away from 1s. Closest I have gotten to a 1 ranking would have to be the Star Wars fandom. I didn't choose the fangirl life. The fangirl life chose me. I've been a fangirl. I can say I've been a fangirl since I was like 12 or 13, probably. Probably even younger. That was my shit. I was reading fanfiction on YouTube. YouTube.com. There was fanfictions. There was fanfictions in the description box. I remember seeing that. There was fanfictions that just looked like a Google slideshow because it would be celebrity picture and then you get the text and like some music is playing in the background to give you the full effect. I remember reading fanfiction like that. Dare I say a peak time for fanfiction, in my opinion. Kudos to whoever was making fanfiction on youtube.com. First up on the list that I'm ranking, I was in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians fandom before Heroes of Olympus was completed. I think when I got into the fandom, it was Rick Riordan was writing Mark of Athena, or had just finished writing Mark of Athena. Cannot remember, and that's how I went into that fandom, was I discovered there was the Son of Neptune. So I go and I read the books and I catch up, and what do you do after that when you're obsessed with a piece of media? You get involved in the fan spaces. So I did, and honestly, some pros to that. There was a lot of really good fan fiction. There was a lot of really good fan art. I was 12 or 13 at the time. Remember that. I remember everybody was super acceptable. There wasn't really any like hate going around. As a matter of fact, it was probably the most pro-gay space I had ever been in my life, and up until that point. I am on the spectrum. I am. And it was just kind of funny to see, because you like a straight ship? No, you don't. You like the gay counterpart that we want you to like them with. That was pretty much what most of that fandom felt like for a while. Now, you got me with your gay ships. You got me. You do. You really do. I love me a little bit of Yaoi and Yuri. Matter of fact, hand it over. However, once you start getting to canon ships that are straight and you're hating and you're saying there's no possible way that these people would ever actually be together, you're losing me. Because why are we putting Percy with Jason and Annabeth with Piper? Annabeth with Piper, I will give you that. I will give you that. But Percy and Annabeth are literally like one of the most perfect book couples I've ever seen. Overall, that fandom was pretty good. I'm gonna have to give it a solid 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. You were really good, really gay, and the fan art was pretty good. Now, I remember there was a big controversy with a specific fan artist. I don't remember who she is. I don't remember her name. I just know when I see her work, I know who that is, and I know you had some issues going on. I don't remember what it was, but I know they were problematic. Next up on the list, we have, believe it or not, Austin and Ally. I don't remember if I went into Austin and Ally first or Percy Jackson first, actually, but those two were very close together in time frame. And how did I discover that fandom? Through fanfiction again. At my prime time as a fangirl, I was reading fanfiction.net. Peak writing, peak literature for fanfictions at the time was on fanfiction.net, tumblr.com as well. However, I had some issues with that fandom because they were very, very heavy into IRL shipping. Me personally, I've got nothing against IRL shipping. That's been around since like Hollywood. Has it not? Was it not like peak 90s gossip was always, oh, this person should date this person, this celebrity with this celebrity? Was that not popping at the time? I don't know. I'm not a hater. I'm not inherently a hater when it comes to IRL shipping. Austin and Ally fandom at the time was heavy on pushing Ross and Laura, and honestly didn't see it. So maybe there was crushes, maybe they did have really good chemistry. There was something about them that I was like, I don't see this going anywhere. I don't see this actually working. Now again, I love my IRL shipping. I was there for Tom Daya. I was there. I was like, what is the problem in saying that they would look good together? That was me. That was me. I will take it. That was me. Maybe IRL shipping sounds a little crazy sometimes. It does. It does. The point being, that was something that was a really big issue in the fandom for me personally. Those people were making it a bit of a thing. So overall, not much hate, not much discrimination, but those fans were very intense. I will say the fanfiction was really good, but my time in there, I'd have to rate that fandom overall like a 6 out of 10. It could have been worse. It really could have been worse. From what I've seen, it could have been worse. Next up on the list, we have Stranger Things. Now that fandom I spent the most time in. That was pretty much all my teen years, all my high school years was spent in that fandom. And I made some really good friends in that fandom. I really did. I got close to quite a few people. I do keep in touch with quite a few of those people still. We are very close friends. But even then, I like to keep my distance. Why? Because the fandom really, once it went mainstream, peak fandom time was season 1 to season 2, even all the way leading up to season 3 was still a good fandom time. After season 3 premiered, she hit the fan so fast. Like, so fast. It was not that bad still. I don't even think the Eddie Munson stuff was crazy in 2020 when that was happening. I think that was just regular casual fandom stuff. But everybody who only liked it because it was mainstream was entering fandom spaces at the time. And it was, you know, it was starting to get into many fandom spaces such as Stranger Things, Star Wars, Marvel, all the super nerdy, geeky stuff. Those fandom spaces were being infiltrated by mainstream people who were not familiar with all the weirdness that comes with a fandom. Because fandoms were objectively, generally speaking, fandoms were usually meant for the weird kids, right? The outcasts. Just like a few other fandoms. IRL shipping was kind of the death of Stranger Things fandom for me. I did not contribute. Maybe I contributed to the problem just a little bit. Just a little bit. I think when it went downhill for me was once the gay ships took over. Again, nothing wrong with the gay ship. I love a little Yuri, I love a little Yaoi. And that over. Who am I to tell you?
No, you can't have your gay ships.
The way you go about them when they have an existing partner already established. I am looking at you, Byler. I am looking at you. Byler gets on my nerves. Why? Because I feel like Maleven was established since like episode 1. If you ask me, who's the real gay ones there? It would have made more sense to pair Will with Lucas, or Mike with Lucas. Season 1, who was the one that was always constantly looking for Will? Lucas. Now, I'd like to address the elephant in the room. My gay ship is, of course, Satosugu.
Pikiawi, in my opinion, Pikiawi.
But if I see you ship Utahime with Gojo, I'm not gonna flip my freaking. I'm chilling. I'm cool. I don't care if you ship Gojo with the woman as long as the woman is me. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to ship who you want to ship. Fandoms are a free space. You can go ahead and ship your Byler. The Bylers just started like hating on the Malevins, and then we also had the case of IRL shipping and multi ships. Yeah. Ship Wars. That was literally the worst fandom, in my opinion, aside from My Hero Academia, with Ship Wars. And it was among the cast. Why are you Again, IRL shipping, I'm not against it, but there is a limit to everything. Overall fandom rating for Stranger Things fandom, again, I left that place probably back in like 2020, 2021. I dipped. I left. I ran away. I only keep in contact with the homies. I'd give it a 4. Overall, you're getting a 4 out of 10. Could be worse. They really could be worse. And I'm not even gonna address the elephant in the room being the cast, the problems among the cast. Yeah. Free Palestine over here. Honorable mention, I've recently started dipping my toe into the Love and Deep Space fandom. I'd like to say, I love Love and Deep Space. So good. Right up my alley. Don't like how much dedication you need to have to the game to the point that it's just like a daily game. I get so irritated with games like that. I'm so sorry. I love Love and Deep Space. That is my shit right now. That is my shit right now. The fan art, really good. Fan fictions, pretty good too. Fan edits, girl, some of the best edits I've ever seen. Stranger Things fandom also had peak edits at its prime. Just an honorable mention. But Love and Deep Space edits, oh my gosh, so peak. So peak. It's like anime edits. So good. Now I will say, some of the fans get a little bit on my nerves. Generalization. I have seen racism. I have seen unnecessary hate. I have seen people trying to dox the VAs for the characters who are meant to be kept a secret. And I have seen people insult others and offend others in the name of their favorite character. Low-key kind of scares me sometimes. From where I stand currently, I'm not too deep into the fandom, but I'm not out of the fandom. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 for keeping me entertained and lots of good fan art. Not gonna lie, everybody does really good fan art. And I'm gonna speed run a few of these. Operation True Love fandom. You guys killed me a little bit inside because do I even have to explain? Second male lead syndrome is very real, guys. Do I have it? No. I don't have it, but y'all stay safe. Here's on a Withered Flower fandom. You guys are also, if you're on Twitter, if you're in the Twitter community, I love you. If you're on TikTok community, a lot of bad takes in this fandom. Y'all get a 6 out of 10. Why? Because of those people. Some people. Because of some people. Jujutsu Kaisen, definitely one of my favorite that I've ever been in. Primetime Lobotomy Kaisen. It was such a time, once in a lifetime experience. Lobotomy Kaisen was my favorite era. Edits are good, fanfictions are good. So much fun. Maybe an 8.5. I don't want to give it a 9. I've seen my fair share of weirdos. No nicer way to say it. And of course, last but not least, Attack on Titan. Good times before I left. I'd have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Fanfictions were popping. The ships were amazing. Good show, good manga, good piece of art, in my opinion. With all that said, it's time for a smoke break. Anyways, guys, I have also stepped into K-pop spaces as well, but I really don't consider myself part of any of those fandoms, except for Enhypen.
1000% I am in there.
I love Enhypen. I really do. All 7 of them. Those are my boys. You guys can find me on Instagram and TikTok and Twitch under the same username, Yoshike. It is pronounced Yoshike like Yoshi. It is not Yosh like Josh. Please keep that in mind. It is Yoshike. Yoshike. Like Yoshi. Yoshi! I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, better video. We are inside. We are no longer outside.
We are no longer outside.
We will be back outside once the weather starts dropping below the triple digits. I live in Arizona. It is literal hell on earth out here. Until then, I'ma try to keep it inside. My natural habitat is indoors, like SpongeBob. Till next time, gang. Laters!